Hello students, we are studying Unit 2 of English Amazing Animals, and in that we started with the story Battle in the Jungle. We completed half of the story, so let's see what was the story so far. Once upon a time, all the animals that walked on land and all the birds and insects that flew in the sky began to quarrel about who was the smartest and strongest. At first, they spoke softly. Then, slowly, they became angrier and louder. The tigers growled and the wolves howled. The birds gave loud cries and cackles. The insects buzzed as loudly as they could. At last, an old parrot said, "Stop shouting. Let's not waste our time and energy in talk. Let's fight." The animals laughed at the bird's idea. "What?" said the lion. "Can you fight us? Don't be foolish. I can bite harder than any one of you." The elephant said, "I can lift a whole tree and fight you all at once." "We will easily defeat you." "Will you?" said the parrot. "We'll see about that. Get ready to fight us." The lion became the commander of the animals. The parrot became the commander of the birds. The lion called all the animals together and gave them a drill for practice. They marched for long hours. He gave them a lot of good food too. The poor birds did not have good food and they did not practice. Instead, they had a meeting with their friends, the insects. Now, part 2 of the story. At the meeting, the parrot called on their friend, the fly. "You become the spy for our army. Tell us the animal's plan." We know what is a fly, right? Makhi. So, the fly can easily mingle amongst the animals and he can spy. Spy means to observe secretly and try to get the information from the animals. "Yes," said the fly, "I will become the spy for our army." Before the battle, the lion called all the animals together. The tiny fly flew in and hid nearby. So the fly agreed to be the spy for their army, the army of the birds, and the insects were their friends. So before the battle, when the lion called all the animals together, the tiny fly flew in. The fly also flew and hid nearby. Hid is the past tense of hide. So the fly was hidden somewhere near the meeting place of the animals. "Are you all ready?" the lion asked. "Yes, we are ready," they all shouted. "We are ready to go to the battlefield." After the march and the drill, they were ready to fight. "Then listen carefully," said the lion. The lion, their commander, was about to give them the information that was needed during the battle. The lion whispered, "I have a plan. Captain Fox, you have a nice long tail. You will be my signal. On the battlefield, I shall whisper in your ear when it is time to fight. You will put up your long tail to signal all the animals to attack the birds. Is that clear?" So the lion whispered. Why was the lion whispering? Because this was the main information. And what did he whisper? What did he say? He told that he has a plan. Captain Fox. So the lion was the commander and who was the captain? Fox. We know how a fox looks. So lion said that, "Captain Fox, you have a nice long tail. You will be my signal." Signal to attack. What did he had to do? On the battlefield, when lion will whisper in the ear of Captain Fox, it will be the time to fight. And Whenever the lion whispered, the fox will have to put up the tail to signal all the animals to attack the birds. And then he asked, "Is that clear?" "Very clear, sir," said the fox. "Very well," said all the animals in one voice. The fly hurried to tell the parrot the lion's secret plan. The fly also heard this plan, what he was supposed to do, and then he hurriedly, very quickly, went to the parrot to tell the secret plan of lion. The time for the battle came. Both sides met on the battlefield. Soon the lion whispered to the fox, "It is time. Put up your tail." The fox put up his tail to signal the animals to attack. Now the time for the battle came. Earlier, how they used to fight, we have seen in the Ramayans or the Mahabharats that the two armies, the two opposing sides will come to the battlefield where the battle is supposed to happen. So when the both sides met there, and then the lion whispered to the fox, "It is time, put up your tail." It is time for what? To attack. So he told him to put up his tail. The fox, as commanded, put up his tail to signal the animals to attack. But the parrot was ready. He quickly and quietly said to the bee, "Hurry at once and sting the fox's tail." So what was the plan of parrot? Quickly but quietly say to the bee. We know how a bee looks, right? Hurry at once and sting the fox's tail. What is stinging? हम जिसे डंक मारना कहते हैं. So quickly go and sting the fox's tail. The bee stung the fox. He stung him once. He stung him twice. He stung him 3 times. The fox forgot all about the signal. He jumped, he shouted, he ran in circles after his injured tail and finally tucked his tail between his legs and ran away. The other animals were confused and ran after him. They ran away from the battlefield. They lost the battle. The birds fluttered their wings in joy. They had won without fighting at all. So what happens when you are stung? You forget everything else and your mind goes to that area and you are in pain, so you jump and shout. Fox did the same thing. If we are stung on a hand, we directly try to rub it, but the fox was stung at his tail, so he was trying to get hold of his tail and pamper it or rub it, but that's not possible. So what did he do? He was running in circles and finally tucked his tail between his legs and ran away. Dum daba ke bhag gaya. The other animals were confused and ran after him. The other animals, they had to follow the signal of the captain. So what did they do? They were confused. What is our captain doing? But still, they did what the fox did. So they ran after him. And if the fox ran away, all the animals ran away, what happened? They all ran away from the battlefield. They lost the battle. We know if we are playing a game and if we quit, we lose. So the animals lost the battle even without starting it. And the birds won the battle even without fighting. How? Because of the smartness of parrot. The birds fluttered their wings in joy. They had won without fighting at all. So that's it with the story. We'll start with the meanings and exercises in next class.